Now I want to introduce you guys to a new franchise. Meet the New Hampshire Saints. And what a surprise, this new franchise is full of 0 overall players. How on earth are we going to win a Stanley Cup with all these 0 overalls on the team? Well, don't you worry, because of course Stick on the Ice has a plan. And what exactly is that plan? Well, for every goal I score, that's going to add 1 player to the team. But of course, there's something we have to do before we score a goal, and that's spin a wheel. So this is how it's going to work. We're going to spin the wheel of NHL teams. All 32 NHL teams are on this wheel right here. And it looks like the first team we're landing on is the New York Islanders. So we're going to be scoring a goal with the New York Islanders, and whichever player I score with, that's who we're going to add to the team. Now, we all know we're going to be taking on the New York Islanders, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomize our opponent, and whoever we land on, that's who we're going to take on. And it looks like it's the Colorado Avalanche. So we have the Islanders taking on the Avs. This is certainly not going to be easy. Also, to make this challenge a little bit more difficult, we're playing on 5-minute periods, superstar difficulty, and if I don't score within the first period, well, we're going to be adding the lowest overall to the team. So basically, I have 5 minutes to score with the Islanders, and if I don't do that, we're going to be adding a very low overall player. Now, of course, I do want to pay attention to who I'm scoring with. Ideally, we score with Bo Horvat, and then we can bring the best player to the team. However, if we don't score with Bo Horvat, then we're going to have to stick with whoever we score with. Ain't no way Nathan McKinnon already scored from the point. Alright, we could be in a lot of trouble here. I wasn't really paying that much attention, but ain't no way this man just blasted a rocket from the point and we're already down 1-0. We don't necessarily have to win the game, but I would prefer if we're not allowing goals 40 seconds into the game. Alright, so after that, we got to lock in here. No more mistakes. Ryan Pollock's bringing the puck into the zone, and he's got a little bit of space. Do we have a back door wide open? Yes, we do. And Bo Horvat's going to be picking up that goal. An easy tap in from him. A minute 55 into the game. We're responding quick after that Avalanche goal. No, that was an easy one. Ryan Pollock finding enough space, and then an easy tap into the back of the net. We're on the board, and we've got our first player. Now, we're off to a decent start. Like, Bo Horvat is certainly not the worst player to bring to the team. I believe we're starting off with an 89 overall. Bo Horvat, welcome. However, there is one other thing we have to do. We have to spin an additional wheel. Now, what is this wheel? Well, this is the goalie or nah wheel. So basically, we have a 20% chance of bringing a goalie to the team, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. If it did land on goalie, then we would have been adding a goaltender from the team that we scored with. So in the case of the New York Islanders, we would have been adding Sorokin to the team. But as we can all see, we're not bringing in a goalie, so we're just sticking with Bo Horvat. So Bo Horvat, welcome to the New Hampshire Saints. You're going to be the first player we brought in, meaning you're going to be lucky if you take a shot this season. Because at the end of the day, you're still surrounded with 0 overalls, so you're going to be the only competent player out on the ice. I'm not asking you to score a goal. All I'm asking you to do is take 1 shot. Now, while we go ahead and simulate this season, I have an interesting fact to share with you. Did you know that over 50% of the people that watch these videos aren't even subscribed to the channel? Now, in my opinion, I believe that's a little bit ridiculous. If you're watching the content, more than likely you're enjoying it, so why don't you be subscribed to the channel and watch the content? I think that would make for a much better viewing experience. Now, some incredible things happened this season. Number 1, the game didn't crash. Very rarely do we see that. But number 2, the Saints scored a goal. They scored 1 goal this season, and of course that lone goal came from Bo Horvat. He was able to pick up 1 goal this season, and he took 4 shots. 4 shots, shot 25%, and he was able to pick up 1 goal. Because of that right there, Bo Horvat, you are officially a stick on the ice legend. Very few players over the course of all the videos I've recorded, when surrounded with 0 overall players, are able to take a shot, let alone score a goal, so you've entered some elite company. I believe there's only like 3 players who have ever done this, so Bo Horvat, you're one of very few, one of the greatest of all time. The Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup champions are taking down the Vegas Golden Knights. It's time for us to go score another goal and then pick up another player. Nah, like real talk, shout out to Bo Horvat. He really did the impossible there, scoring a goal. I never thought I'd see the day. We're landing on the Chicago Blackhawks next. Of course, we're going to try to score with Connor Bedard, but I'm not too sure if that's going to be possible. Now, in reality, scoring with the Chicago Blackhawks should be pretty easy. Like, at the end of the day, they did score 7 goals against the St. Louis Blues the other night. Let's also not act like that isn't the first time Chicago has scored 7+ goals against the St. Louis Blues this season. Like, right now, Chicago owns St. Louis. They're outscoring us like 20-5 or something like that. Half the time, the games aren't even close. I mean, I'm pretty sure 20-5 is a little bit of a stretch. Like, I do believe we scored more than 5 goals, but I also believe Chicago has scored more than 20 goals against us. So yeah, it's not like that makes it any better. Now, there's 2 players we're looking to score with, Connor Bedard and of course Andre Burakovsky. What an elite chance right there. Teuvo Teravainen stoned on the doorstep. That was an easy goal for him. So we have about 7 minutes left in the first period, and I think that's only about 2.5 minutes real time. So we got to score pretty quick. And Connor Murphy, an absolute rocket. He's going to be burying one in the back of the net. Connor Bedard's picking up the the assists, so we're not adding Bedard to the team. But Connor Murphy, honestly, as a defenseman, that's not that bad, because defensemen are going to be harder to pick up in this video. So picking up a guy like Connor Murphy, I'm not against that. But what an absolute rocket from him. Kemper didn't stand a chance. Now I can almost guarantee you we're walking away with Spencer Knight here, because this is the wheel spin in which we would get a goaltender. Why does this not surprise me? Spencer Knight, welcome to the team. I just want to point out of all the available options we could have ended up getting, like I'm talking Shesterkin, Sorokin, the Otter, Thatcher Demko, Vasilevsky, Connor Hellebuyck. Why would we get any of those? Instead, we're going to get 85 overall Spencer Knight. Now this is actually going to be an iconic moment for Connor Murphy, because Connor Murphy, when was the last time we ever saw you in any of my videos? Very rarely, and I'm talking like 3 times all time over the course of my channel, we have seen Connor Murphy on one of my teams. So Connor Murphy, welcome to the New Hampshire Saints. You're going to play a big role here, but you know who else is going to play a big role? Spencer Knight, an 85 overall goaltender. We're claiming 2 players away from the Chicago Blackhawks. These are 2 upgrades for us. No, but real talk, shout out to Connor Murphy, picking up a big goal for us. Definitely somebody I wasn't expecting to see today. Now we might have only scored 2 goals, but we do have 3 players on the team. Bo Horvat's playing center minutes this season. Connor Murphy, I'm going to need you to play some right wing minutes. And then when it comes to our goaltender, 85 overall Spencer Knight isn't the worst in the world. However, there are a lot of starting goaltenders who have a higher overall. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have Spencer Knight than nothing, so I should probably be happy with bringing Spencer Knight to the team. Like, no disrespect towards Spencer Knight whatsoever. He's an amazing goaltender. But if you were to ask me, it just makes sense that the first goalie we're going to be landing on is one of the lowest overall goaltenders in the league. Now, I don't think this is surprising anyone. I think we all expected this to happen. The game is going to freeze 2 seasons in, so we're not going to be able to complete this season. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and figure out which team's going to be scoring next. Now, so far, it hasn't been too difficult to score with either of our NHL teams. Is New Jersey going to be the next one? It looks like it. Ideally, we're scoring with Jack Hughes here, but there's a lot of good options we can score with on New Jersey. Now, scoring with the New Jersey Devils shouldn't be too difficult. They have a handful of high overall players on the team. We can't play the New Jersey Devils. That just wouldn't make sense. So instead, we're playing the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, we've already played them once in this video. I want to take on somebody else. How about the Nashville Predators? Like, we're entering game number 3. I don't want 2 of those 3 games to be against Colorado. Now, ideally, we find a way to pick up a really quick goal here. Dougie Hamilton's blitzing up the ice, but he's going to be absolutely rocked. Timo Meier is collecting it. Let's see what we can create here. Meier does have a little bit of space. How about we let him go to work? Timo Meier turning on the Jets. How is he flying by absolutely everyone right now? Okay, Timo Meier, I did not know you had wheels like that. What was that? What on earth did I just do? Okay, I was trying to pass that. I don't know how I scored. I actually have no clue how I scored there. Yeah, I need to watch the replay. I do not know what just happened. So we're wrapping around the net right here with Jesper Bratt. He's going to throw something towards the net. Truthfully, what I was trying to do was a saucer pass, but I guess I saucered it perfectly enough to somehow beat UC Soros. It's going to go off his arm and then into the back of the net. I wasn't even trying to do that. I did not plan that whatsoever. The plan was a saucer pass in front, and if we somehow got incredibly lucky, we could get this all the way across to Jack Hughes, and they could tap that into the back of the net. But nope. Jesper Bratt's going to be scoring a goal. I have no clue how I did that. No, like I had no plan on scoring there. Like I didn't think it would even be possible for me to score there. But apparently we did. We scored from the most difficult angle imaginable. We're not going to be receiving Jacob Markstrom, but that's perfectly fine. We got Jesper Bratt. You know what? Sometimes you have to take those types of goals. I wasn't even attempting to score there, but it worked out for us, and we're walking away with a 90 overall. He's only 3 overalls lower than Jack Hughes, so we did get one of the best players imaginable. Jesper Bratt's the new highest overall on the team. Yeah, I still haven't really processed how I scored that goal. So Jesper Bratt, you're going to be joining the top line alongside Bo Horvat and Connor Murphy. Ideally, we can bring in another right winger here, because Connor Murphy, we have to send you back to the defense. That's where you belong. You shouldn't be playing right wing minutes for us. We need a true right winger on the team. We can't be having a right defenseman fill into that position. Now, it wouldn't be a true stick on the ice video if we didn't see one crash as well. The game froze last season. Now it's time for us to see our crash. Moving forward, I'm hoping I don't see any more freezes or crashes. Like, let's just keep it a $150 here. We knew this game was going to freeze at least once, and we knew this game was going to crash at least once. That was a no-brainer. We're going to be landing on the San Jose Sharks. We're almost forced to score with Macklin Celebrini here, because if we don't score with Macklin Celebrini, I think at the very best we're only getting like an 85 overall. Now I don't think we're going to get nearly as lucky as we did with the New Jersey Devils. Like, we scored the flukiest goal of all time. But if we can score another fluky goal here with Macklin Celebrini, I wouldn't say no to it. Okay, we're getting a power play here, and a power play is huge for us. Macklin Celebrini, I'm going to send you onto the ice. We're going to try to force a goal with you. We are just going to send it to Celebrini. He is going to be the only one taking shots. We need a 90 overall on this team. All right, you remember how I said I was going to force a goal of Celebrini? Well, that is 1000% not happening anymore. Wenberg just had a wide open net, but he rung it off the back of the net. Ain't no way. Bro had an easy goal right there. So we're not capitalizing on the power play. We're hitting the back of the net on a wide open net. Nothing is going right for us with the San Jose Sharks. There's a chance that we don't score here. We really don't have that much time left, only 12:21. Then again, I've scored with less time before. And you know what? We might have a man wide open. John Klingberg can't bury it. Joey Daccord is stopping everything. Ain't no way. Okay, Matty Beniers just scored the luckiest goal of all time. That took the stupidest deflection off me. Yeah, so Seattle's going to be scoring. We have about 3 minutes left to score a goal here, which is probably about a minute real time, probably less than that. We have 60 seconds to work with. So Celebrini's taking the face-off. 2:30 left in this one. That's a big face-off win. We'll T1 towards the net. There's a loose puck. Somebody get on it. And Mario Ferraro is going to be scoring. His slap shot from the point is somehow going to end up in the back of the net. Celebrini, why couldn't have you tapped that home? Like, seriously, that was perfect for Celebrini. We just teed one up from the point. It hit Joey Daccord in the face. He wasn't ready for it. There's a loose puck. Celebrini is right there. He can tap this into the net, but somehow he can't get a stick on it. Instead, who just threw that into the back of the net? Ryan Lindgren. Ryan Lindgren's going to knock that towards the goaltender off Joey Daccord into the back of the net. But Macklin Celebrini, why couldn't you get a stick on that? If your stick just touches it, or even your skate touches it, you're scoring that goal. But instead, we're adding Mario Ferraro to the team. Now, please don't give me Ascroft. We cannot run a Spencer Knight-Ascroft tandem. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that. We're not going to be bringing Ascroft to the team to be our backup. Now, I feel like it shouldn't be that crazy to say most of our goals have been very fluky. Like that Mario Ferraro goal, that shouldn't have ended up in the back of the net. The Jesper Bratt goal, that shouldn't have ended up in the back of the net. Bo Horvat's was a legit one. And then Connor Murphy's, I mean, we should put a bit of respect on that Connor Murphy slap shot. It was an absolute laser. But our last two goals, very questionable. Now, it's kind of funny. I was fully expecting defensemen to be a lot more difficult to score with. We've now scored with as many defensemen as we have forwards. We already have two of our defensemen being Mario Ferraro and Connor Murphy. I wasn't expecting either of these guys to be on our team, but here we are. I mean, ideally in the future, they're not playing first pairing minutes for me. If they are playing first pairing minutes, then we're never winning a Stanley Cup, respectfully, of course. I would never want to disrespect guys like Mario Ferraro and Connor Murphy because they've picked up some big goals for us, and that's the reason they're on this team. Now, we have some good news and we have some bad news. The good news is we got through the entire season. The bad news is the New Hampshire Saints didn't win any games this season. We did score 26 goals though, so I guess we can celebrate that. Bo Horvat was able to pick up a point on all 26 of those goals. 9 goals and 17 assists for him. Jesper Bratt, 23 points. Mario Ferraro, he was actually a really good pickup, picking up 15 points. Meanwhile, Red, he scored more goals than Connor Murphy. No, that's just not right. There is no way a 0 overall should be picking up more goals than Connor Murphy. It's just not right. Not right whatsoever. Spencer Knight, you had decent numbers, but what was I really expecting from you? Like, we basically still have a 0 overall team in front of you. We got to get a lot more help here. The Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup Champions, let's go score with another team and ideally get a superstar. So let's go find us another superstar. And where is that superstar going to be coming from? The Washington Capitals. Ideally, we pick up a goal with Ovi, but there is a handful of really good players we could bring to the team besides Ovi. Now, hopefully we don't see any more fluky goals moving forward. I want to see some legit goals. And I guess one of those legit goals is going to have to be scored against the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, I think there's a possibility we might catch Carolina on the change, but it's not going to be that easy. Ryan Leonard's going to stall for a bit, waiting for the screen. Sortif's going to be right there, and he's going to bury this one into the back of the net. Justin Sortif is going to be going short side on Freddie Anderson. The only problem with that, we're bringing Justin Sortif to the team, and I know for a fact he's not the highest overall. He's been on a heater recently, but I believe he's only like a 78 overall. So yeah, we're not going to be adding any superstars to the team here. Now, Justin Sortif, that was a big time goal from you, but are we going to walk away with anything else? It doesn't look like it. It looks like the only player that's going to be joining the team is going to be Sortif. All right, so we're walking away with Justin Sortif. I do not know how I feel about this. I don't know what his overall is. I'm pretty sure it's fairly low, and it is definitely low, a 77 overall. We are bringing a 77 overall to the team. I mean, that's not really that much different than Ryan Leonard. Ryan Leonard took the shot when the screen was there. So if we scored with Leonard, we would have just been walking away with someone who's 3 overalls higher. So yeah, I guess it's not that big of a difference at the end of the day. Now, moving forward, during moments in the game, we're going to have only NHL players on the ice. Jesper Bratt, Bo Horvat, and Sortif on the top line. When it comes to our top pairing, that's going to be Mario Ferraro and Connor Murphy. And then in between the pipes, we're going to have Spencer Knight. Outside those 6 guys, though, we still have a lot of 0 overalls on the team, but that's going to be fixed sooner than later. Now, Sortif, I would like to take back all of the disrespect I sent your way. I mean, I didn't really disrespect you. I just said there were higher overalls on the team, but maybe we did need those higher overalls because the New Hampshire Saints, a 180-1 record this season, our lone win this season even came in regulation. I need to know who we beat and potentially who we shut out, because there is a chance that we shut somebody out. The odds of us shutting someone out, very low. Look at Sortif, 18 goals this season. No, I was sleeping on bro. I was unaware of his greatness. He was an absolute stud for us this season. When it comes to Spencer Knight, he's picking up 1 win and then 1 OT loss. His 1 win wasn't a shutout, but who cares about that? Who on earth did we beat? Now, I always get scared in moments like this because I don't want to see the St. Louis Blues losing to the New Hampshire Saints, but there's like an 85% chance that's the case. Luckily, in this matchup right here, we're not losing to the St. Louis Blues, but we did lose to the Dallas Stars in overtime, and Dallas is a really good team. So you know what? I'm actually perfectly fine with that overtime loss. We lost to a really good team, and just the game before that, we're going to beat the Ottawa Senators 2-0. So not only did we beat the Ottawa Senators, but just 2 days later, an OT loss to the Dallas Stars. People will remember this 3-day span right here. People will never forget January 20th to January 22nd, where the New Hampshire Saints were arguably a top 15 team in the NHL. With all of that yapping wrapped up, we got to lock in here because we need a superstar on the team. And Nathan MacKinnon, I'm going to do everything in my power to score with you. I don't care if I have to play you when you have absolutely no energy. You will be on the ice and you will score a goal. So as I mentioned, we're focused on scoring with Nathan MacKinnon here. I wouldn't be against scoring with Cale Makar or Marty Necas, but Nathan MacKinnon right now is the top option. Alright, so here's the plan. Cale Makar has the puck. Let's find Nathan MacKinnon. I believe this is Nathan MacKinnon right here. We'll sauce it over to him. That is not Nathan MacKinnon. This is Nathan MacKinnon. Now we're just going to let him use his X factor and score a goal here, but Schmid's making a huge save. Okay, I don't know what the plan is anymore. That was the plan the entire time. Just give the puck to Nathan MacKinnon and let him use his wheels, and more than likely you're looking at a goal, but I guess that's not the case. Instead, how about we use Martin Necas' wheels, because he has the wheels X factor as well, and look at that man fly. Yeah, Lightning McQueen out here. Bro is just flying straight down the ice. What else do we have to say? Also, did you like that sound effect? But is Marty Necas the only player joined the team? We do have to spin our goalie wheel, but it doesn't look like we're adding one here. Now, I would have preferred Nathan MacKinnon, and even Cale Makar would have been great, but let's not act like Marty Necas is some terrible player. He's a 91 overall, the new highest overall on the team. He's definitely going to be helping us in the future. Alright, so we've added another great forward to the team in Marty Necas. The top line's looking like Marty Necas, Bo Horvat, and Jesper Bratt. I'm actually perfectly fine with these 3 players right here. And then when it comes to Sortif, in the future, you're likely going to be playing 4th line minutes, but I think you can play some good 4th line minutes for me. So Marty Necas was a big help for the Saints, allowing this team to win 2 games this season, a 279-1 record, but we're yet to score 1 goal per game, only 71 goals this season. Next season, we're taking home at least a goal per game. This team is picking up 82 goals over 82 games next season. Of course, the top line, they carried the way here. Marty Necas, Bo Horvat, Jesper Bratt, no surprise there. When it comes to goaltending, Spencer Knight, 1 shutout this season. We need to know who that was against. The Winnipeg Jets are Stanley Cup champions, but I don't care about that. I care about the one team we shut out. Now, who exactly is that team going to be? Well, I guess it was the Boston Bruins. Although we lost this game, we lost to them 1-0 in a shootout, so that's technically a shutout. So Spencer Knight, congrats on the shutout, but you lost the game at the same time. So yeah, not too much more we can say about that. Now, we've brought a lot of playmakers to the team, so we got to start bringing in some snipers. And is one of those snipers going to come from the LA Kings? Potentially, because Kopitar would be a great pickup. Kev Fiala would be a great pickup. Honestly, Kopitar, although you're not a sniper, I wouldn't be against bringing you to the team either. Now, when it comes to the LA Kings, we need to walk away with one of their top 3. Whether that's Kempe, Kopitar, Drew Doughty, we need one of those 3 players. To me, as long as we don't walk away with like an 82 overall player here, I'm going to be happy. And you know what? We might be able to spring Kevin Fiala. He is one defenseman to beat. Can he get past him? You know what? He created a little bit of space, but Kevin Fiala can't bury that one, but Anze Kopitar can. He's going to be right there for the rebound, and we're scoring like 25 seconds into this one. Although we're not bringing in a sniper, Kopitar, I'm not against bringing you to the team. So Anze Kopitar, I believe you're the 2nd highest overall player we could walk away with from the LA Kings, so there's nothing I can really complain about there. We're not going to be adding Darcy Kemper to the team, but honestly, I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, Anze Kopitar, we get to bring you to the team in your final season. Like, that's actually really crazy to think about. Anze Kopitar will not be in any NHL 27 videos. 1 year from now, we're not going to be looking at adding Anze Kopitar to the team. This is the final game we can add him from. I mean, unless he's a part of their alumni next season, but if he's not, we're not going to be looking at Anze Kopitar anymore. It's kind of crazy to think about. Now, although the team's looking really good, especially if Kopitar is our 2nd line centerman, we need some snipers. We don't have any snipers on the team. And honestly, that's a little bit funny. Somehow we have scored a bunch of goals with players who aren't snipers. We've scored goals with defensive defensemen, but we haven't scored with snipers. Kind of crazy how that works. Alright, so I have nothing to say here. Nothing to say whatsoever. This season was a disaster. 55 goals scored. What happened to our offense? We added Kopitar to the team, and we took the biggest step back imaginable here. No, this season's an absolute joke. We're pretending this didn't happen. Move on. Let's spin the wheel. I don't even care who won the Stanley Cup. It was the New York Rangers. This season was a joke. Now, the team we land on at the end of the day doesn't really matter too much. It really matters on the player that we score with. So we're landing on the Ottawa Senators. They have some amazing players that we can score with. They also have some players that we don't really want to score with. But guys who I wouldn't mind scoring with here, Jake Sanderson wouldn't be bad. Brady Tkachuk wouldn't be bad. Tim Stutzel wouldn't be bad. I would say those are the big three I'm interested in right now. By the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who I'm interested in. It matters on who I score with. Now, one guy that I didn't name that I wouldn't be against scoring with here is Drake Batherson, but I think we have enough two-way forwards on the team. We could use a power forward like Brady Tkachuk, or even a guy like Tim Stutzel. Yeah, he's not a sniper or a power forward, but at least he's a high overall. All right, Brady, I think you finally have enough space. Go into the backhand. There we go. Dan Vladar was lost. He was tired because we've taken about 8 million shots on him. Brady Tkachuk finally found the right amount of space, and he's going to bury that one in the back of the net, and he's going to be joining the team. Now, of course, with us scoring with Brady Tkachuk, we do have to spin the goaltender wheel to figure out if we're walking away with Linus Ullmark, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case with this wheel spin. So Brady Tkachuk, you're going to be a huge addition to the team. We're finally bringing in a power forward that's going to take a lot of shots. Currently an 89 overall, which is tied for the second highest on the team. I'm certainly not going to complain about bringing an 85 overall power forward to the team. Truthfully, we got the player I wanted all along. So our top line's getting a nice boost here with Brady Tkachuk joining it. It's Brady Tkachuk, Marty Necas, and Jesper Bratt. When it comes to the second line, that's complete as well. I think we have to start working on our defensive core a little bit more. I have been so focused on the forwards, I've completely forgot about our defense, and that clearly needs a lot of work. Now, I'm happy to say Brady Tkachuk saved this team a little bit. A 477-1 record. We scored over 100 goals this season, meaning we're over a goal per game. We're finally starting to see some success. We're starting to get a little bit of traction here. No more folding moving forward. We have to keep the offense going. Jesper Bratt, Marty Necas, Brady Tkachuk, they were the top line, and they were the big time performers on this team. Bo Horvat wasn't too bad either. And you know what? Kopitar, he held up his end of the bargain as well. I can't really be mad with how this offense produced. Meanwhile, when it comes to goaltending, Spencer Knight, 4 wins this season, a 905 and a 489. These numbers really aren't that bad considering what's in front of you right now. Clearly, we still need to add a lot of players to the team, and ideally, this next player is going to be a defenseman because we could desperately use one on the team. Now, although the plan is to bring a defenseman to the team, if we land on a team that has a bunch of elite offensive talents, then we're going to go after those offensive talents. When it comes to the Philadelphia Flyers, Travis Sanheim would be good for us, but Konechny or any of the other forwards, I wouldn't be against either. Now, I'm fairly confident that scoring with the Philadelphia Flyers really shouldn't be that difficult, but scoring against the Minnesota Wild, that actually might make things a little bit more difficult than I was expecting. Now, we've put on some pressure early, but we still haven't found the back of the net. Sean Couturier is trying to create a little bit of space, a backhander towards the net, and there's a loose puck that Owen Tippett's putting in the back of the net. I'm going to be honest, I threw the puck towards the net expecting some stupid bounce, and you know what? That actually worked out for us because there was no way Couturier was actually going to score from there. However, it took the stupid bounce that we were looking for. Owen Tippett's going to bury one to the back of the net. I don't know how it got past the goaltender, but hey, we'll take those. Now, honestly, I don't feel like we've earned a goaltender after that goal. Like, that was the flukiest goal of all time. We have scored more fluky goals in this video than actual goals so far. Honestly, if that doesn't explain NHL 26, I don't know what will. Now, though Sean Couturier took the main shot there, technically Owen Tippett is the guy scoring the goal off his deflection, so that's who we're going to be bringing to the team. We're bringing in Owen Tippett, who is an 83 overall. I honestly thought Owen Tippett was a significantly higher overall, but yeah, 83 overall Owen Tippett. At least he's a sniper though. We finally got our first official sniper. Now, Owen Tippett, I'm happy you're a sniper, but I'm not happy you're only an 83 overall. Why couldn't have we gotten an 86 overall sniper? It's also kind of funny, the one goal we do score with a sniper deflected off his stick and then off another stick, then off a body. Yeah, that was Owen Tippett's goal for us. He didn't even actually score the goal himself on a legit shot. It just deflected off him. It only makes sense. That's the lone way we're going to score with a sniper. Not from an actual shot. Nope, from a stupid deflection. Alright, we have to have a serious conversation about this team, because what are we doing? 2 wins this season and 113 goals, which is 1.38 goals per game. This is very similar to last season, except we won less games. We lost significantly more games in overtime, but I don't care about OT losses. We don't want any loser points here. We want some winning points. We want to win games in regulation. We want Spencer Knight to shut out every team he plays. We have to start winning some more games here. Like, we only have 2 wins so far, and we've added a ton of players to the team. This is unacceptable. The Carolina Hurricanes are winning the Stanley Cup. Winnipeg won as many games in the Stanley Cup final than we did all season, and they only won 2. That's ridiculous. So I'm really focused on bringing a defenseman to the team here. Connor Murphy and Mario Ferraro, they're just not good enough. Montreal has a handful of decent defense we could bring to the team. Truthfully, as long as we bring in a player from Montreal's top 6 or their top 4 defense, we're likely walking away with a decent overall player. Now, Montreal shouldn't be too difficult of a team to score with. There's a lot of great options we can go with when it comes to scoring. We are going against the Tampa Bay Lightning, though. They're a really solid defensive team. And saying that, though, their defense is only rated a 75. So maybe they're not quite as good as I thought. Then again, I think the reason it's rated as 75 is Victor Hedman's probably not in the lineup because he's technically hurt. So yeah, we're going against a Victor Hedman-less Tampa Bay Lightning. So we certainly get the advantage there. Now this is actually a little bit ridiculous, but how has Vasilevsky saved absolutely everything? A backhander towards the net goes in. That makes sense. Nope, that makes sense right there. A stupid shot ends up in the back of the net. All of the elite opportunities, no, those aren't going to end up in the back of the net. Sometimes you just have to take a stupid amount of shots, and a stupid shot like that ends up in the back of the net. You're kidding me. You're actually kidding me. Out of all the amazing opportunities I had with the Montreal Canadiens, that's the shot that goes in the back of the net. Nah, you can't make this up. Like, here's a quick compilation of all the amazing opportunities I had with the Montreal Canadiens that I didn't show you. None of those ended up in the back of the net, but don't worry, that Patrick Laine backhander, that ended up in the back of the net. Now, similar to the goal with the Philadelphia Flyers, we didn't earn a goalie. We don't deserve to bring one to the team, and it doesn't look like we will be. So it's time for us to bring in our second sniper, and that one's going to be Patrick Laine. And once again, the goal that we're scoring with a sniper really isn't the greatest shot in the world. You would think with a sniper, we would be picking top corners or something, or we would just sneak one past the goaltender when there's basically no space whatsoever. But nope, that's not the case here. Instead, it's a stupid backhander towards the net that ends up in the back of the net. And then when it came to that Owen Tippett goal, yeah, there's nothing I can really say about that goal. Like, yeah, it just didn't make any sense. So we brought another forward to the team in Patrick Laine. He's going to be replacing Owen Tippett in the top 6. We have 4 forwards remaining and then 4 defensemen remaining. Right now, the defensive core is atrocious, so we should start focusing on that. I know I've been saying I'm going to start scoring with defensemen, but it kind of just happens. I don't really go out of my way to score with the defensemen. Sometimes you just take a slap shot from the point and it ends up in the back of the net, and things work out for you. But you know what? I haven't had that luck for a while now, so maybe I have to start forcing a little bit when it comes to defensemen. Alright, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm getting very concerned with this team because the New Hampshire Saints should have more than 5 wins at this point. Like, we almost have a completed top 9 and we're only scoring 121 goals, which is 1.48 goals per game. Something is wrong with this team. Maybe it's the lack of defensemen because we only have 2 defensemen, but something is clearly wrong with this team because where is the offense? We haven't seen any offense from any of these guys so far. Spencer Knight continues to look amazing in between the pipes, but we just don't have any offensive support. Spencer Knight continues to do his thing by keeping pucks out of the net, but if we don't score in front of him, then none of that matters. The Edmonton Oilers are Stanley Cup champions. Someone has to find the back of the net, and they got to do it quick. Now, that's somebody who's going to find the back of the net quick here. They better be a defenseman. We're going to be selecting the Minnesota Wild. Quinn Hughes would be the perfect defenseman to add here, and he shouldn't be that difficult to score with. If we can't score with Quinn Hughes, it has to be Kaprizov. One of the two. I know Kaprizov isn't a defenseman, but I wouldn't say no to adding him to the team. Now, we've scored a goal against the Minnesota Wild, but now it's time to score with them, and we're going to be scoring that goal against the New York Islanders. Now, Quinn Hughes has got his second wind, and he is turning on the Jets. He is just blazing past everyone to the backhand, and he's going to get one past Sorokin. Quinn Hughes is going to be brought to the team. I'm not going to lie, second wind is completely broken. Like, Quinn Hughes a few seconds ago had 0 stamina. He was basically done for. But then he regained all of it back so he could just skate through the entire Islanders team and then score on Sorokin. So welcome to the team, Quinn Hughes, our new number 1 defenseman. But maybe on top of a number 1 defenseman, can we get a new number 1 goaltender? It looks like we will. So our goaltending tandem is now set after the defensive upgrade. Quinn Hughes has joined the team, but so has Philip Gustavsson. Now, the plan with the Minnesota Wild was to to score with Quinn Hughes, and that's exactly what we did. We're bringing 95 overall Quinn Hughes to the team, but that's not the only player we're bringing in. 88 overall Gustavsson has joined the team as well. Anything less than 15 wins this upcoming season is a disgrace. This team has the talent now. We've removed 2 more 0 overalls. We have everything we need to win 15 games. So Quinn Hughes has joined the team, and he's going to be an elite defenseman on our first pairing. But on top of that, we're also bringing in a goaltender. Gustafsson's going to be our new start moving forward. Spencer Knight's going to be the backup. We have our goaltenders. We have our superstar defenseman. Now we just need a handful more supporting pieces. So you remember how we had goals of winning 15 games? We didn't even win half of that. 7 wins this season. So I'm convinced we're never going to win a Stanley Cup. I don't know what it is. We don't score goals. Plain and simple. This team just doesn't score goals here. I don't know what it's going to take for us to see some success. But yeah, we need some superstar goal scorer and a couple more elite defensemen, because this ain't it. Also, Gustavsson, you had a 4-50-5 record. Spencer Knight had a 3-20 record. We should have just played him over you. You were a complete fraud this season. Everyone sucked this season. I don't know if we're ever going to win 20 games, let alone a Stanley Cup. No, like the offense on this team has to be addressed. I know we have to address the defense as well, but we need to address the offense too. Truthfully, we have to address this entire team that isn't goaltending, because Gustavsson, Spencer Knight, that's good enough for us. The offense and the defense, not good enough. Now, although Dylan Larkin is the highest overall in the Red Wings, I don't know if I want to score with him. I feel like Mo Seider or DeBrincat would be better options. If we score with Mo Seider, we bring in an 88 overall defenseman. If we score with DeBrincat, we get a really good sniper. I mean, Patrick Kane wouldn't be terrible either, and even Lucas Raymond wouldn't be bad. But I think DeBrincat or Mo Seider are the top 2 options. Okay, we're just trying to find somebody wide open. Oh, we might have found somebody. We might. Okay, that's not what I was trying to do. Okay, we scored. I was going to try to send that over to Dylan Larkin. I thought we had him wide open in front of the net. We definitely did have him wide open in front of the net. But yeah, Lucas Raymond is scoring off that goal. No, like this was the original plan. You see Dylan Larkin right here, wide open. This man couldn't get any more wide open than what he is right now. So if we can get this pass across to him, it's a backhand tuck into the back of the net. That's an easy goal. But what's going to happen instead? Well, it's going to go off Jake Sanderson's skate. You see Jake Sanderson's skate right here? The puck is going to deflect off that, and it's going to go into the back of the net. Ain't no way these are the goals we're scoring today. I have scored like 3 legit goals. Everything else has just been nonsense. Now, before I add Lucas Raymond to the team, I just want to mention something. I have never claimed to be a good player at NHL. I actually very rarely play this game outside of recording videos. But based on the gameplay you have seen today, you probably think I am the worst NHL player of all time based on the goals I've been scoring, because it is just fluke goal after fluke goal after fluke goal after fluke goal. We have barely scored any legit goals in this video, yet all of these players right here were added through scoring goals. Like so far, the best goal that we scored was the second goal we scored, which was Connor Murphy's absolute laser. Outside of that goal, we have seen a lot of questionable goals being scored. Alright, so we've completed our top 9, but before we move into this upcoming season, we're changing the lines up a little bit. Brady Tkachuk, you're now playing second line minutes. Patrick Laine, we need goal scoring on the first line, so that's where you're going to play. When it comes to our defense, we already know what that's looking like. We only have 6 0 overalls left on the team. We better replace these 0 overalls with 3 superstar snipers and then 3 elite defensemen, because if we don't do that, I can't imagine this team of basically all playmakers winning a Stanley Cup. Like, we're 6 players away, and I don't even think we've won 15 games. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it was a historic season. We were still complete garbage, like we only won 14 games, but look at that right there. 2 goals per game, 164 goals scored. We scored 2 goals per game. Wow, this team is awful. This team is just complete garbage. Like, there is no bright spots on this team whatsoever. There is nothing to celebrate, nothing to smile about right now. This team is complete and utter buns. Yeah, we have to score with like Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Sidney Crosby, Austin Matthews. Give me Matthew Tkachuk, who else sims really well. Kyle Connor would be a nice pickup. We need somebody. So give me one of those superstars I was looking for. Just give me a generational player. The Rangers aren't terrible, but we need Adam Fox. JT Miller, I don't think sims well enough. We already have enough playmakers, so we don't need Panarin. We need to score with Adam Fox. We need another high overall defenseman. The New York Rangers might have a handful of really high overall players on the team, but I am just not confident with them. Like, the way that all the top players on the Rangers sim just isn't giving me a lot of confidence. Like, Artemi Panarin, very rarely do I ever see you dominate, so I don't really want to score with you here. So basically, what do I mean when I say all this? We have to score with a defenseman, and Adam Fox has to be that defenseman. So Adam Fox, you just need needed the slightest bit of space, and you might have got that space. There's a loose puck somewhere. Miller's got it. We're sending it back to the defense to tee one up, and Gavrikov scored. Gavrikov is picking up a goal. I didn't know who it was. I didn't know who was back at the blue line. I just sent it back there because I knew we could get the one-timer and I could time it perfectly. But Gavrikov is going to be scoring. That is not the player I wanted to score with. Honestly, I didn't even realize Gavrikov was up there. I knew it wasn't Adam Fox, but I was thinking maybe it would be like Zibanejad or something. Maybe Panarin would be over there for some reason. Nope, we scored with Gavrikov. Nice. Now, since we have our goaltending tandem, we don't need to spin the goalie wheel once again. We're going to be rocking Gustavsson and Spencer Knight for the rest of this video. On top of those two guys, there's another guy we're going to be running for the rest of this video, and that player is Gavrikov. 85 overall Gavrikov. That's actually not nearly as bad as I thought it was. For some reason, I was thinking he was like an 83. I'll take 85 overall Gavrikov. Our left side defense is now complete. We just have to continue to work on the right side. Now, for this season, we're moving Mario Ferraro over to the right side. He's going to be playing alongside Gavrikov, so we have a complete second pairing. We only have 2-0 overalls when it comes to our defense, and then we only have 3-0 overalls when it comes to our forward core. So we have 5-0 overalls on the team. There is no way you guys don't win 15 games this season. Last season we won 14. We now have another defenseman on the team. 15 victories this season should be incredibly easy. Truthfully, we should be closer to 20 wins this season, but that's definitely stretching it. Let's just start with 15. Now, we added Gavrikov to the team, and we're down to our final 5-0 overall players. So obviously, we're going to see a lot of success this season. Well, we did win more than 15 games, but we only won 17. Yeah, this team is a joke. Plain and simple, this team is an absolute joke. We have no offense here. Like, none whatsoever. Our leading scorer was Lucas Raymond with 24 goals, then Jesper Bratt with 21, and Brady Tkachuk with 20. This team doesn't score goals because we haven't brought in any true snipers. Like, yes, we technically have a couple snipers on the team, but there's snipers that aren't scoring goals for me. We need somebody that can put the puck in the back of the net time and time again. Someone we can rely on time and time again. We are yet to find that. The Tampa Bay Lightning are Stanley Cup champions. They beat the Minnesota Wild. Give me a superstar sniper. It really shouldn't be that difficult. But I should rephrase that. Why am I asking the wheel to give me a superstar sniper? Give me a team who has a really good sniper, like the Toronto Maple Leafs who have Austin Matthews. Now I have to score with Austin Matthews. So you have given me the opportunity. Now I need to step up. Now we basically have to score with Austin Matthews here. We don't have any other choice. William Nylander wouldn't be a bad player to bring to the team, but he's not a sniper, and we need a sniper. We need Austin Matthews. Or Brandon Carlo. I'll take Brandon Carlo as well. Okay, I am absolutely forcing everything with Matthews right now, and it's finally working out for us. So we had taken 4 shots up until that 5th shot from Matthews. Every shot came from him. I was just taking shot after shot after shot with Matthews. Eventually, we were going to find the back of the net, and we did right there. An absolute snipe. I decided to go short side there. He was expecting far side because that's where every other shot is gone, but nah, we're going short side this time, right over the glove, and we're beating Vejmelka. He wasn't right for that one. Now, we might have found the missing piece, the guy that's going to turn the New Hampshire Saints around, the man who's going to save our franchise. Austin Matthews, welcome to the team. We need you to be our savior. Now that I just realized what I said, we are in a lot of trouble, aren't we? Matthews isn't going to be our savior. Now, it has been a long time coming, but Austin Matthews, you are the sniper we need. You're the superstar sniper we've been looking for since we began this video. And now that we have that superstar, there is no looking back. We need to lock in like we have never locked in before. 20 wins or bust. Because yeah, that's what we're striving for this season. Just 20 wins. Now, Austin Matthews, you did the impossible. You made this team not a complete dumpster fire. We were only 3 points back of the Ottawa Senators and New Jersey Devils. 28 wins this season. This is what we've been striving for since day number 1. And I also want to point out, when it comes to our offense, it wasn't the worst in the entire league. We actually had a better offense than the Carolina Hurricanes. The New Hampshire Saints are here, and they're ready to win Stanley Cups. Well, maybe not ready to win Stanley Cups, but we want to be somewhat competitive moving forward. Quinn Hughes had a positive plus minus. Things are actually looking up for the Saints. Things have been bad for a very, very long time, but not anymore. This team is adding some elite players to the team. They're finally starting to see some success. The Winnipeg Jets are Stanley Cup champions. That's going to be the Saints in just just a handful of seasons. Until then, we have to spin this wheel right here to figure out which team we're going to be scoring with next. Can it please stay on Tampa? Perfect. We're going to be adding another star player to the team, ideally Nikita Kucherov. Now we have to keep the momentum going. Austin Matthews has been a huge addition for our team. We're taking on the Edmonton Oilers next. Nikita Kucherov, Brady Point, Victor Hedman, you're the big three I'm looking at when it comes to scoring a goal. All right, here we go. Jake Guentzel might have been sprung for a breakaway. I think he has an opportunity, and what a beautiful move right there. We had Tristan Jarry by on the shot fake, pulled it back a little bit, and we had a wide open net for Jake Guentzel. Yes, it isn't Nikita Kucherov, but Guentzel's definitely going to be able to pick up some big goals for us. He had the breakaway, had the goal, he absolutely lost a wide open net, and Guentzel wasn't missing that net. That's a big goal for him, and that was an easy goal for him. Now, the goal was to score with Nikita Kucherov, but unfortunately, that's not who we're walking away with. And then Brady Point, Victor Hedman, they were the next two options, but we didn't score with them either. However, we could use another sniper on this team, and Jake Guentzel, you can definitely fill that role. You're going to be an elite player for us. We saw what happened when we added a superstar sniper to the team in Austin Matthews. Now that we've added another really elite sniper, I'm excited to see what the team's going to do this season. Now, with the addition of Jake Guentzel, we're one forward and two defensemen away from completing this team. I don't think we're going to be the worst team in the entire league moving forward. However, I still don't think we're quite a playoff team, but I do think we will just be outside the wild card. But you never know. If we get hot at the right times, there is a possibility we're a wild card team this season. Now, with Jake Guentzel on the team, I have such high expectations. We did not reach those expectations. We are still the worst team in the entire league. Although we did win more games than the Chicago Blackhawks, they were just ahead of us because of the tiebreaker. They won more games in regulation than we did. 2.66 goals per game. It's still not good enough. We need to improve the defense. I know our offense wasn't good enough, but we need to improve the defense here. We still have 2-0 overalls in the team, and they're holding us back far too much. So when it comes to the next goal we're scoring, we are going to try our hardest to score it with a defenseman. We need a defenseman on the team, so we're going to score with a defenseman. The Tampa Bay Lightning are Stanley Cup champions. Really, all we have to do here is pray for a team that has an elite defenseman. Give me the Columbus Blue Jackets, because I wouldn't mind Zach Werenski. I mean, I take that back because Zach Werenski is a left defenseman, but we can still make it work. Calgary is also a good team to land on because we can either score with Mackenzie Weegar or we can score with Rasmus Andersson. Two guys who can play some right defensive minutes that I wouldn't have an issue with. So we have Rasmus Andersson or Mackenzie Weegar. Those are the two guys we're focused on with Calgary. If we could score with one of them, it would be a huge upgrade to our team. All right, we're taking every shot here. Rasmus Andersson T1 up. One of these is going to get into the back of the net, but Nazem Kadri got a stick on it. Okay, so we're bringing Nazem Kadri to the team. We're not going to be bringing a defenseman in because Nazem Kadri had to deflect that into the net. Honestly, I don't really know what to say. I was not expecting to bring Nazem Kadri to the team. But yeah, our forward core is complete with Nazem Kadri. We're not bringing a defenseman in because Kadri's picking up the goal. So just like that, the forward core is complete. Nazem Kadri is going to bury one into the back of the net, and we're going to be adding him to the team next. An 87 overall forward to complete our forward core. We still need two defensemen, and I really thought we were going to bring one to the team. I really thought his name was going to be Rasmus Andersson, but Nazem Kadri just had to bury that goal. So our forward core is complete, and it's actually looking really strong. We can definitely win with all of these guys, but you know who we can't win with? We can't win with these two 0 overalls on the team. Until we get rid of these guys, I can't even imagine us making the wild card. 2-0 overall defensemen are just going to hold us back way too much. Like, we have a third pairing of 2-0 overalls. Like, at that point, we're basically just playing 3-on-5. Now, as expected, we really weren't a good team this season. The New Hampshire Saints still dead last in the entire league. We were actually tied with 3 teams being the worst in the entire league. We are 1 defenseman away. I can guarantee you, once we bring one more defenseman to this team, we're winning like 50 games next season. That is a fact. I can guarantee you that 100%. We are 1 defenseman away. It might seem crazy that 1 defenseman is going to make us a 50-win team, but that's how it works. That's how much 1 defenseman means. The Toronto Maple Leafs are Stanley Cup champions. Watch us dominate next season after we bring in 1 more defenseman. So all I'm asking for is a team that has an elite defenseman. That's what I want to bring in. The Dallas Stars are perfect because they're not the Edmonton Oilers, and I would have lost my mind if I had to pass up on Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. That would have been a really tough look. I mean, Evan Bouchard really wouldn't have been that bad of a right defenseman, but considering the other options, that would have been a tough look. At least with the Dallas Stars, we're talking about Miro Heiskanen, and he'd be a superstar for our defense. Now, of course, we want to score with Miro Heiskanen, but we don't have to score with Heiskanen. There are other defensemen on the Dallas Stars we could score with, but why would we want to score with them? How about we just score with Miro Heiskanen and then bring the best player to the team? Now, we're putting on all sorts of pressure right now, and if we can continue, it's only a matter of time before we score a goal. Miro Heiskanen is filling the lane perfectly, and that's going to result in us picking up a big-time goal. If Heiskanen doesn't fill the lane like that, we're not scoring here, but he stepped up when we needed him to, and that's going to result in us scoring a big time goal and adding a big time player to the team. Now, Miro Heiskanen, you're immediately jumping into a top 4 role. You're actually jumping into a top 2 role because you and Quinn Hughes are going to be our top 2 defensemen. That's going to be a superstar pairing right there. And now that we've had Miro Heiskanen, watch us win 50 games and go on a run during the playoffs. So the defense is just about complete. Quinn Hughes, Miro Heiskanen, Connor Murphy, Gavrikov, Mario Ferraro, and then Blue Oak. There is only one 0 overall player left on this team. But you know what? It is possible that 0 overall hoists the Stanley Cup with us because that's what the plan is this season. It's Stanley Cup or bust. We are yet to make the postseason, but now that we have Miro Heiskanen on the team, it's Stanley Cup or bust. Now, it certainly wasn't a 50-win season, but we're second in the entire league. So am I really going to complain about being second in the entire league? The New Hampshire Saints are locked in. We're winning games, we're dominating the NHL, and as long as this can continue into the postseason, we have a chance. We have a chance to win a Stanley Cup in our first postseason appearance. But at the end of the day, we still have 1-0 overall on the team, and that player might be holding us back a little bit too much. Gustavsson, I need you to take over. I need you to play some of the best hockey of your career. We're taking on the Buffalo Sabres in the first round. We have to set a statement right now. Not only do we have to sweep this team, we have to score about 50 goals against them. So you know what the expectations are. 50 goals against the Buffalo Sabres. We lost game number 1. What are we doing? Luckily, since then, we've been absolutely locked in. We allowed 5 goals in game number 1, though. I don't want us to forget that. We were not good defensively in that game. And since we won 3 straight games, we've now lost 2 in a row and are in game 7. We were up 3-1, by the way. Now we're in game number 7 against the Buffalo Sabres, but Buffalo's not a dumpster fire anymore. I do have to remember that. We're not taking on the dumpster fire of the past in the Buffalo Sabres. We are taking on a team that actually has a bit of competence to them. This team is not complete garbage anymore, and right now they have the lead on us, and they are 20 minutes away from taking us down after being down 3-1 the series, and that's exactly what they're doing. We blew a 3-1 series lead to the Buffalo Sabres. Nah, this team is just full of frauds. To be fair though, we shouldn't be surprised at this. Our best player is Austin Matthews. What did you really expect to happen? It was only a matter of time before we lost in the first round. Let's keep it $1.50. So we're a first round exit. Jesper Bratt's picking up 6 points. Nazem Kadri 5. Austin Matthews 5. And then when it comes to goaltending, Gustavsson, I thought I was going to have to rip into you, but I'm absolutely not doing that. 3 wins, 1 shutout, a 923 and a 243. I can't really ask for you to do too much more. You put up really good numbers. Our team just didn't show up in front of you. We were not scoring enough, and because of that, we're going to be losing in the first round after being up 3-1. Can't forget about the fact that we were up 3-1. I do have to mention that. Now all we have to do is bring one more right defenseman to the team, and then once we do that, our team is going to be complete. We're landing on the Seattle Kraken, and that's actually a really good team to land on because Vince Dunn can play on the left or right side, and then Brandon Montour, he's a primary right defenseman. So as long as we can score with one of those 2 guys, we'll be bringing a nice defenseman to the team. So we're looking to pick up another goal to complete our team. Seattle's going to be that team, and who are we scoring against? Well, that's going to be the Anaheim Ducks. And you know what? We might have something right here. It's a 2-on-1. Can we get that over to Alexiak? The puck is loose, and he's finally going to put that one to the back net. Alexiak dominating on the offensive end. He's going to pot the rebound, and we finally have our team completed. Jamie Alexiak's going to be picking up the goal. Of course, I want to bring Brandon Montour or Vince Dunn to the team, but I guess we're not walking away with either of those guys. We're going to walk away with Jamie Alexiak. But at the end of the day, he's better than a 0 overall, even if he has to play slightly out of position. Now, Jamie Alexiak is the final player we're bringing to the team. Or I shouldn't say the final player to complete our NHL team. If we don't win a Stanley Cup this season, then of course we'll have to score with somebody else. But until then, we no longer have any 0 overalls on the team. We have a team full of NHL players. Now, our defense is complete, and so is this team. And Jamie Alexiak, you actually have a better fit than I realized. I didn't realize you were left and right defenseman. So Jamie Alexiak's actually going to play some really good minutes for us. He's going to fit perfectly alongside Gavrikov. Our second pairing is going to be all about defense. Meanwhile, the first pairing, well, that's going to be all about offense. The New Hampshire Saints are ready to win a Stanley Cup. We have everything we need to win. We just need everyone on this team to step up in the postseason when it matters. Okay, now this just doesn't sit right with me. We won 52 games this season, 3 more games than the New York Rangers, but they were ahead of us because they lost 10 games in overtime. That's not right. The New Hampshire Saints should have won the President's Trophy. We should have been the best team in the entire league this season, but we were let down because a team happened to lose 10 games in overtime. It's not right. It is not right whatsoever. You know what else isn't right? The fact that Gustavsson had an 891 and a 330. What were you doing out there? How on earth did you post those numbers with this team in front of you? Like, we have a really good team in front of you, and you were just awful this season. We're taking on the Washington Capitals in the first round. Gustavsson, you better figure it out. Now, I think we need to be very realistic heading into this postseason run. Even though we were second in the entire league, I do not expect this team to do anything. We swept Washington. Okay, so apparently I just know nothing. We're moving on to the second round to take on the New York Islanders. I still don't think we are that good of a team. We didn't play that great during the regular season. We're down 3-1 against the Islanders. This makes a lot more sense. We're losing in 5 games. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel and add a new player, because this team certainly isn't it. So I think we could use another elite goal scorer, either an elite goal scorer or a great defensive player. When it comes to the St. Louis Blues, I'm going to keep it a stack. Whoever we score with, that's who we're bringing to the team. Whether it's a forward or a defenseman doesn't matter. Whoever we score with, that's who we're adding. Now, I'm not going to force a goal at the St. Louis Blues. Whoever we score with, that's who we're going to be adding. We're taking on the Florida Panthers, whether it's Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou, Parenko, Jimmy Snuggerud, Dylan Holloway, it doesn't really matter. Somebody from the Blues will be joining the team. Now, scoring with the St. Louis Blues honestly really shouldn't be that difficult, because at the end of the day, we just have to score with a forward, not a defenseman, and that's going to be way easier, especially when Jordan Kyrou gets the puck on the doorstep and he can just tap it home like that. So there we go. We scored with Jordan Kyrou. It took us 38 seconds. Now, picking up a goal with Jordan Kyrou might have been the easiest goal of the video, and that's saying something, because we have scored some fluky goals today. At 87 overall, Jordan Kyrou, you're definitely going to be helping the forward core. I just need these guys to step up in the playoffs. And Gustavsson, I can't have you being a complete fraud like you were last season. All right, now this forward core right here should be able to score enough goals. We have enough elite players here that have a ton of X factors, and we know what X factors mean in this game. When it comes to the defense, it's good enough to keep pucks out of the net. And when it comes to goaltending, we have 2 decent overall players, one of them being Gustavsson at an 88 overall. I just need him to play like an 88 overall, and if he does that, we'll hoist the Stanley Cup at the end of the season. Alright, something about this just isn't right. We won 50 games this season and we were 5th in the entire league. New Hampshire will never win. This team is never going to win a Stanley Cup. I don't know why, but they just can't. Gustavsson, the numbers once again did not look that great. I am starting to think we need a new goaltender. Maybe I should have continued to spin the goalie or nah wheel, because maybe we could have got somebody better than Gustavsson. However, I believed with an 88 overall and an 85, we'd be good in the goaltending department. I might have been wrong. Now, I just have a feeling that we're going to lose in the first round to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm expecting this team to just completely fold. I have such low expectations for the New Hampshire Saints, and I don't know why. I just don't believe in this team. Something about this team just isn't right with me. Like, I don't know what it is, but this team just isn't good. Even though we have a lot of high overall players on the team, I just feel like we're not really that good of a team. We're moving on to the second round to take on the Washington Capitals. Maybe I'm being too big of a hater. Maybe I'm hating on this team a little bit too much, because we are 1 win away from moving on to the conference finals, but we're going to blow a 3-1 series lead. I don't think we've blown enough 3-1 series leads so far in this video, so how about we blow another one right here? But maybe not, because we're picking up 4 goals in the first period. We have a 5-2 lead entering the third. There is no way we completely collapse. We just scored 9 goals in this game. That offense better continue into the conference finals. If we can score 9 goals in game 7, then we shouldn't have to worry about losing. With that being said, we are taking on the Florida Panthers in the conference finals, and this will not be an easy matchup. Florida's going to put a lot of pressure on us, but we have a 3-1 series lead. 1 win away from moving on to the Stanley Cup final. Do not blow a 3-0 series lead. We have made to the Cup final to take on the St. Louis Blues, the last team that we scored with. All we have to do is beat the St. Louis Blues 4 times, and I know we can do that because this game disrespects the St. Louis Blues. The New Hampshire Saints are Stanley Cup champions. I was questioning this team before the playoffs began. Then we went on to win the Stanley Cup. It only makes sense the second I start questioning our team, we go on to win the Stanley Cup. As we just saw, Marty Necas led the way in points, 28 points in 23 games. Matthews 26 with 13 goals. Bo Horvat 12 goals. Lucas Raymond 12 goals. This is what we needed. We needed goal scoring like this. Jesper Bratt was great as well. Quinn Hughes was great. Look at all the point of game players. Everyone was showing up when they had to. And you know what? It's probably a good thing because Gustavsson sucked. A 900 save percentage and a 306 goals against. We did not deserve to win the Stanley Cup here. But because of our incredible offense, we were able to walk away as Stanley Cup champions. But if I were to pick an MVP for our playoff run here, who exactly would I call the MVP? Well, there's obviously only one man we can call our MVP, and that is Connor Murphy. 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. Without Connor Murphy on this team, I can guarantee you we're not walking away with a Stanley Cup. He also scored the best goal of the video in my opinion. An absolute laser past Darcy Kemper. Connor Murphy, you're officially a stick on the ice legend. Welcome to the exclusive club.